Wow. This is the first Max talks to women on the road. This is a big deal. We've never done this before. And by we, I mean me, the collective. Today we have an incredibly special guest. A returner, in fact. Someone who's coming back for the right time. Give it up for Sarah Hanson. Give it up for Sarah Hanson. There we go. Yeah, that's an applause right here. She is, everybody. I like having a picnic with you. You do have to, in fact, put the. I mean, I could just do it and you can watch, but that feels somewhat erotic. Wow. Do you think about how you hold the mic ever?
Do I? I always just do like.
You hold the mic like you're in a '90s hip hop video.
I hold the mic like I'm gonna like punch someone in the face.
Is this okay that we're this close together?
Yeah, are you okay?
I'm sweating a little bit.
Do you want to hear?
Oh, thank goodness.
Can you feel it?
We have some crystals out today. Just another intro. This is Sarah Hanson, one of my good friends. She's coming back for a second time. Give it up for her. Hold on, you guys. Give it up. Hold on. Let's do this right. Give it up for Sarah Hanson. Yeah, isn't that fun? I'm going to start inserting that. You have a show tonight, so we do have to just get right into it.
I do.
Are you excited for your show tonight? Where are you performing?
I'm very excited. It's the first, the origin show for this venue. It's called Scanlon's. It's in Roxborough.
It's called Scanlon's. Mm-hmm. Scanlon's. Sorry.
I call it scallions all the time.
I think the THC kicked in. I think I can tell because I always start just fixating on a single word. Yeah. Are you offended if I don't look at you?
No, I don't care.
Okay, cool. Your makeup does look lovely.
Thank you.
Sarah did her makeup for this podcast. I actually think she probably did it for the show after.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to do it for the podcast anyway, though. So
fair.
Yeah,
but so your show's at Scanlon's, you
Scanlon's, it's like up this, literally a mile away. So 8 o'clock.
Who's on the show tonight?
Jamie Fitzpatrick.
Oh. They're going to solve some sort of something.
Jamie?
Yeah, aren't they a biologist?
I believe he works in the sciences. I don't know exactly.
In the sciences.
I do think he is actually smart. Unlike a lot of people I meet in comedy.
Wow. I feel like you're talking about me.
No, like you just know, like I feel like he comes off like he's like maybe not at first when you first meet him.
Don't you think that like whenever you meet someone who comes across somewhat like a certain way, like sorry, the buzzing and this is bothering me. I'm gonna change it out. Can you? No, it's in the cord. What I want you to do is give me a minute on the worst date you've ever been on while I change out this cord.
Oh, okay. Well, there's so many.
You can talk to the camera because I'm gonna be fiddling around.
Do that. I was just saying, I was looking at you first. Worst date I ever went on was, I mean, quite frankly, there's so many. They all like were terrible mostly. But there was this one guy that I remember I went out with him when I lived in Ardmore and actually came over here to Manayunk. We went to Brew Pub and he lived in Manayunk. And I don't know why I was traveling in this context anyway. He should have been coming to me. But I was in my 20s and I wasn't like demanding enough. So I show up at this date and the guy's not there on time. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. He does not show up for 30 minutes. And like, he was like, his excuse was like, oh, I got caught up at the gym.
Is that worse?
That is almost a little worse, I think. Now I hear it. Before I didn't even hear it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so anyway, this guy shows up. Well, first of all, I'm stupid because I should not have waited 30 minutes. I realize that now. I wouldn't even wait 1 minute at this point. Like, I would be like, if you're not like there before me, because I'm probably going to be late, and that's okay for girls because we have to do our makeup. So anyway, and his excuse was stupid. Like, if his like something actually happened, I wouldn't care. But it was like, oh, sorry, it was like at the gym and I got caught up talking to a dude. It's like, okay, well, why don't you go on a date with him? Do you want me to keep going? How is that happening?
It just happens sometimes. I might restart, but let's see if I can fiddle with the chord. It might just be in my. Sometimes I think that it's in my head, and that's how I feel about everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're like, is this real? Is anything real?
Yeah.
So you were saying that you think that sometimes. Let's start over. This is gonna bother me.
Okay, we can just start. You want me new intro, or we just start?
Yeah, we'll do a new intro. We're gonna start right from the beginning.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Is your mic off? This is like two blondes trying to.
Okay.
Sarah's over here calling out Jamie Fitzpatrick for not being an intellectual.
I'm saying he is smart.
What the words that Sarah said were, "I think that Jamie Fitzpatrick is dumb as bricks." Check the record.
No,
Give me.
I don't. That's literally the opposite of what I was saying.
Give it up one more time for Sarah Hanson. She's doing a wonderful.
Okay. Shut up with this. What the fuck was that?
Dude, that's my favorite one.
Christ.
Wait, say Jamie Fitzpatrick is smart.
Jamie Fitzpatrick is smart.
How dare you claim that?
I can't believe that I'm not talking shit on him right now. This is just
honestly, Jamie Fitzpatrick is very
we're
funny.
We're actually up talking him. We're telling him he's smart. He's
I've
funny.
Heard he has a giant
he's
wing
the full
wing ding.
package.
He is the full package.
I don't know him that well, but
yeah,
he presents okay.
He presents okay.
Good. He presents well.
He's like an average guy.
I think he has a girlfriend though, so that's like,
Yeah, but is she fucking him every night?
Listen, I don't ask people these things. I don't want to know anyone's business. I know too much already.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to bleep out this guy's name. I'm just kidding. I'm leaving it in.
No, yeah, I'm gonna have to be like, sorry, I just talked a bunch of shit about you on a podcast before.
No,
the
but
show.
you didn't actually. You're just saying that you didn't think he was that smart.
No, yeah,
and then he shocked you with his intellect.
Yes, and it's kind of like me. Like, a lot of people think I'm really stupid, and
well, aren't you?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I am really smart. I just don't present that way. That's why.
You don't present that way. You don't present intellectually.
No, I'm not like, hey, you guys want to hear about my Excel formula today?
Excel. What does it mean? Well, okay. So what I was saying before I just got distracted by my inability to understand electronics was that you were saying that some people, you don't think that they're smart. And
yeah,
God, this THC beverage is good. And the point is that I think you ever meet someone and you either think, wow, they're incredibly smart, or they're the dumbest person I ever met.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you fall in that category.
Yeah, for sure. And I love it. Honestly, I want it to be that way because then my enemies never see me coming.
Whoa, that's so smart.
They don't think I can even do anything. Like,
are you would you consider yourself a bimbo?
I mean, in a like a strategic sense, I'd say.
A strategic. Oh my God.
You're like me when I said cyclical.
Cyclical.
No, like I'm a bimbo on purpose. Like, kind of like I I kind of want people to think I'm stupid because then they will like write me off. And
That you want people to think you're stupid so that you can kind of sneak in and then present your intellect shockingly.
yeah, and I also think people tell people they don't really respect or think are like kind of dumb a lot of stuff. Maybe like because they're like, oh, they're like, who, like, what are they even doing? They don't know what they're doing. And
Yeah.
they feel like safer. Like everyone feels like better around somebody
Oh.
who like kind of
Who they think they can
they feel better
outthink.
than. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's how I get a lot of information from people because they just be telling me shit.
Like in what capacity? Who, like, you mean gossip?
Like gossip, just stuff about their like I'm like the type of person that everybody tells like their trauma to,
Oh my God.
very quickly.
I really identify with that too.
Like I think I like make them feel safe, which like I do want to make people feel safe. It just like not everyone, and definitely not people that are like. Is my mic on?
Yeah, I know.
Or is it just the volume?
I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like every time that I do a podcast.
For those of you who can't see, Max is now laying on the ground on a yoga mat, just playing with the chords.
I feel like see, it's better though. See, sometimes
You got there.
Sometimes you gotta fiddle for 10 minutes.
You do have to fiddle sometimes. It's
What's
very
your
important.
ideal length of sex?
Oh my god. Like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Unless it's like real. Like here's the thing. Okay, if we're like doing foreplay and there's some, and I like the tying up things and the, I'm a little more intricate sometimes. So
Wow.
if we're getting into that, I mean
Is
that
like,
can take some time.
Are you into shiboru?
I just licked the mic.
Why would you do that?
I didn't mean my tongue just came out and it was close.
Wow. It seems like you have a type.
I
next to your
like
mouth.
actually I've never done shibora. I have.
Is that what it's called? Did I use the right word?
I believe that is correct. Yeah.
Check in the comments. I don't know. What
Look
that
it up.
Yeah.
We don't. I'm dumb. Remember,
We're dumb.
We're stupid.
Two
We're blondes.
We have this thing that records our audio. It probably shouldn't.
Just
This
us
is going to be
talking
on
to
the internet
camera.
forever.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, who cares at this point? Like,
Yeah,
the world
right.
doesn't look too good anyway. We might as well just do whatever we want.
And what we want to do is podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird, but it is true.
I love this. I love
Isn't it weird that I genuinely enjoy this?
No, I think it's really fun to talk with your friends and like just
I would rather do this than hang out with a person
yeah.
regularly.
I like an activity.
Yeah, I need some
Structure.
for sure.
Structure, yeah.
But you were saying 15 minutes.
Shabora.
Yeah.
I think if I'm just gonna like literally we're having sex to like have sex, like if we're going, and I'm not
Sure.
saying that's just the only round of sex we're gonna have, like 15
Right.
minutes for the first round, and then maybe like that's a warm up, and then you go a little longer the second, and if you can go a third, good on you.
You've had sex 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean
my
more than that,
God.
depending on the person.
Wow.
There are some people out there who I
That
think
can
it's the porn
really-
addiction problem.
Why are we making it negative? They're just a performer.
Well, because they're
4 times-
overworked,
They're overworked. They're overworked. They're overtaxed.
underpaid,
They're underpaid.
more
Did
money
you-
for
okay,
porn
so-
stars.
Do you want to talk about sex more? Is that okay?
Oh, I will totally. I'm very
All right,
open.
cool. Did you? So when you've had sex more than 3 times, did you come every time?
Absolutely not.
No. How many times did you come?
Maybe one.
Like the last time, or
And that doesn't
upfront?
even happen every time when I have sex.
Well, yeah. I feel like
Like
that
I've had sex 3 times and not come.
at all.
Not from like the intercourse. Like at that point, then I'm like, okay, let's bust out the vibrator.
Well, you really get yours.
Well, yeah, like what the fuck? You just had
No,
sex with me
that's-
3 times. The least I can do is come.
I think it's fun
Once.
as a man sometimes. Like I've had sex where like I'm like I don't really want to come, and the woman will get like
Upset?
very upset. Which is an interesting dichotomy, right? Because like men are like always not making women come.
Right. I think we should make men come less. Like I
Is
think
that
that's
your
I think that's what they
look at the
need.
Sarah wants to make men come less. I don't agree with that. I'd like to state that
I,
on the
I think
record.
they be coming too much. I think that's the problem. They
You
need to
think that's the
yeah,
problem?
because now it's not special
Okay,
anymore.
yeah.
You're just coming all the time. Like you don't have any feel like emotional anything going on. You're just coming and going, and living your life. Yeah.
Coming and going and
That's
living
it.
your life. That's the thing that you think is the issue with the world today. Are
With the
you saying
men.
that we wouldn't have a conflict with Iran right now if the men were coming less?
Yeah, I don't think the Iran men are coming that much.
Right, which
It
is
doesn't really sound
feel
sex
like
positive over there.
right. So I feel like they should be coming more.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe that's a good point. Um,
Did I convince you?
no, but I think America we're out of control with this.
You think men are getting too much pussy?
Yeah,
Oh man.
not even getting too much pussy. Like they're watching too much pussy.
Oh,
Like
you're
the porn.
the
is,
porn addiction
Yeah.
is troubling to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Do you watch porn?
Yeah.
But like you're not addictively.
No. Like I'll
you-
I'll turn on something and I will like get a little turned on and use my vibrator and then
why, why are you saying this so seductively?
talking about a vibrator. Like what am I
First,
saying? I get turned on and I use my vibrator.
first
Um,
I put the porn on.
But then what I start to do once I get like almost there, I start thinking about stuff I want because I learned recently that
You mean like things you want to own, like
things
objects?
for me. like I'll be like I want to write a really funny joke this week and I'll come to the thought of that. And
That is fucked up, bro.
no, it's not. It's how you can manifest things because
When you're about to come.
when you're coming, you're like the most relaxed and like your body is the most
Huh.
open. And to manifest, your body needs to be open and ready to receive. So having an orgasm, and if you're like, I want to like get out of credit card debt, come thinking about it, and you will.
Honestly, that's good advice. Come thinking about getting out of credit card debt, and maybe you will. Does it work like that?
I haven't tried. I've been focused on Philly's funniest, honestly. So I'll focus on the credit card debt later.
The thing that you're focused on right now is every night you're coming to it, you're like, oh, I gotta figure out the ending to that joke. If I could just get that tag right, then I would come so hard. Wait,
Yeah.
no, the coming and going. Do you come?
Come and go.
As soon as you come, do you just immediately are you disgusted with the things you want, just like normal
No.
sex?
I usually turn over and take a nap. That's like how I go to nap during the day.
Oh, you take yeah.
That's my routine. My 2 p.m. nap.
You watch porn every day.
I will not every day because I don't masturbate every day.
Wow. Oh, that's wow.
I don't like the judgment. With
No, I wouldn't judge you. You should masturbate as much and as little as you want.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
asexuality. Do you think that people watch porn when they're asexual?
No,
they-
because they don't want sex, right?
I don't. Yeah, I shouldn't have brought that topic up. I know nothing about it. I should ask someone who's asexual.
I wonder if they watch it for like research purposes. Like,
like you put it on and you're like, yeah, that isn't for me.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
how you watch like cooking shows when you don't cook. Like you're
That's a terrible analogy. What do
you're like
you
I'm not
mean?
even trying to learn anything here. It just
do you
it
mean?
calms me.
You put on. You don't. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're just watching it like purely almost
for sport.
for sport.
Yeah,
Did you ever finish talking about your date?
no, I didn't get to the better part of it.
You could feel my stress about the chords.
Yeah, well,
You guys can't see, but there's just a pile. It's like a. Do you know those giant trash cans that you keep outside and put leaves in? That's what I keep all the cords in, and I just dig through them frantically every day right before I set up. That's what I do. Wait, so
very organized.
I am organized. So your date, you went to them. Was
I
that
did
what
go to them,
overheard?
and that was the first mistake. I would never recommend that ever.
Cool.
I
think
was-
that is good advice, though. I always feel like a first date should be mutually, like it should go, I'm coming halfway, you're coming halfway.
Yeah, unless you like this guy lived here in Manayunk and I lived in Ardmore at the time. That's 4 miles. Like Where are we gonna meet at? The woods. That's all that's between there.
That's like real
Um,
high school.
That's
Meet in
scary.
the
We don't go to the
woods.
woods with men.
No, you're right. You are right. I honestly would never go to the woods.
I don't
Like,
really want to be there.
I
No.
did go on a few dates with men back, like when I was really just trying to see what I was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like talk about try it out and go, hey, this is not for me. And I'll tell you what, going on dates with men is terrifying.
Yeah.
People don't understand until they date a man how scary it is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one time a guy brought me, this was when I lived in Chicago, and I went on a date with this guy. And he kept moving the location of where we were supposed to meet up.
Yeah.
So like I would get somewhere and he'd be like, I'm already gone. Is that supposed to be sexy?
Oh,
I'm like, I need a plan, bro.
I think I would never see that man because I would not be finding him. If he's
You would
gone,
just-
I'm like, well, there goes another one.
You are a high value woman. I never
Yeah.
thought of myself as a high value
Think of
man.
yourself as a high value woman if you want to date men, you know?
That is true though, because you can't be going to the woods. But
Oh.
he did eventually. I found him, and he was sitting out at just like at the edge of a pier.
No.
Yes,
I'd push him
right?
off. I'd be like, you know what?
I should have been friends with you then.
You have been, well, I wasn't even this way then. I was dumb and I
Oh,
would have
that's
followed
fair.
a man around too back then, probably.
Yeah, I guess I was 23.
Yeah, I don't count. Like the 20s is where all the mistakes were made.
Here's my trouble with it is I told that story to a gay male friend of mine.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's so hot. I wish that I had been there."
Oh, maybe that's like,
And I was
maybe
like,
that's
"What?"
how you figured out you weren't gay.
That was these experiences. Like anytime someone's like, "Are you sure you're not gay?" I'm like, I tested it.
Yeah.
That guy also this is talk about how stupid you are when you're young. Is even after that we went back to my house and he put his finger in my belly button and I told him not to and he did it again.
Classic.
Classic.
Classic men.
I know.
Not listening to your boundaries.
Not listening to boundaries. What I think's crazy is even still as a man that it's still like Anne who dated men and dates women and understands these things. I still sometimes push the boundaries, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to dating is complicated.
And I think like men, like not to defend them because I don't want to defend them, but
Yeah.
I think men instinctively like will do that stuff because like men are like more like, I don't know, like biologically like they're hunters, right? You know, so it's kind of like they're
Sure.
trying to like get something, whether it's good or bad. I mean, their intentions, that's a different story.
I would say that I don't necessarily think it has to do with biology. It's that like societal structures have taught us that men have to be the aggressors in
Yeah.
in heterosexual relationships.
Yeah.
And therefore that a man in that situation, if he's not making a move, I feel like women don't understand that now it's your turn. That's actually my hope for
Yeah.
the future.
What,
is
you
that,
want women to make more moves?
No, I want women to start objectifying men more. Let's flip the script.
Yeah. I mean, I think I objectify them enough. I don't.
Like you walk into a mic and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I might like if I like someone that, or I think they're attractive, I'll like be like, you look really good.
See, that's why
But that's like not
I'm excited.
objectifying them. That's
Yeah, that's kinda
objectifying
nice.
men is the time at my mic where I told the Gibsons to take their shirts off and fight each other.
That is objectified.
That was
then.
objective, and I objectified the nicest men. Like they
They're the
didn't deserve
sweetest
it.
brothers.
Like,
I love that. Shout out to
Shout out
Charlie and
the
Campbell
Gibsons.
Gibson. I feel like they want to be like it's like they are brothers and I love them together, but also we should define them as separate entities. They don't need to be linked inexorably as siblings. You know what I mean? Like Charlie Gibson, amazing.
Yeah,
Pause. Campbell Gibson,
Okay.
also amazing.
we love an individual.
Right, we're trying to support the individual. Shout out to Campbell Gibson
And Charlie Gibson.
and Charlie Gibson. That's right. I can't believe you told them to take their shirts off.
Yes.
That's so fucked up.
It was, I don't even know, like, it was towards the end of the night, and I think I don't remember if I was drinking that night. Sometimes I don't drink, and sometimes I do, so, well, it sounds like it was
Yeah,
a
that's
drinking
kind of how
night.
it works. Either sometimes you're drinking or sometimes you're not. No, I understand what you're saying, though. To me,
Yeah.
it's more like, I don't think my behavior changes that much when I'm drinking, right?
No.
Just typically when I'm drinking is when I've chosen to be a little more chaotic.
Yes, and I also will be like, I'll just be more of what I already am when I'm sober. You know, it's like I'll just if I already like feel oh like I want to just like go out and like talk to whoever and do whatever. Like I'm just gonna literally run amok wherever I am. Like
If you're sober?
no, if I'm drunk. Like that's like. But if I'm like sad and I get drunk, then I'm just gonna like sit there and probably come home and like cry in the shower, listen to sad songs.
I feel like you're someone who this is something that I don't think everyone does, which is do you ever go to a bar like to be a little sad?
I have not. I try not to now because I don't think that's like a healthy
Yeah.
habit. But
Yeah. No, you're right.
but
You
like
shouldn't be doing
I
that.
have. I mean, yeah. When I was going through my breakup, like I was out at bars, just alone all the time. Just
Like I think of for me it's a dive bar. Very dark.
Has to be a dive
Ideally if it's down a flight of steps
yeah.
and then you go in and
Yeah.
it's like it's
Cash only.
cash only 2 p.m. and they have one snack like pickled eggs that no one has
Or
ever
chips.
ordered. Yeah, they have like a wall of chips. That's
And
fine
nuts.
too. Yeah. And you go in there and there's an old school jukebox that's still got like the 8 tracks or something, you know. And you can put on Hank Williams and sit there and drink Jameson. That's sometimes I need that.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah, but also I think as a woman you can't always do the same activities that I would do, right?
No,
Like,
I do that. I love it. I'm a dive bar. Oh my god, I've had so
do
much
people
fun
bother
dive
you in
bars.
a dive bar?
Yeah, but most of the time they're like nice. Like they're not creepy. Like I mean, like I have been to many dive bars and like a lot of the men that are in there are like they're just like drunks usually, but they're like nice drunks.
Oh, sure.
Because there was one in
So they want to
Ardmore.
talk to you, but they're not going to necessarily be like super
Well, no, they're
creepy.
definitely still gonna want to like try to fuck me. But like, I mean,
Right.
I like. I don't know. I think I handle them better in a dive bar because I kind of go in and I'm like, look at this place. I don't give a shit. And then I'll just say like whatever. If they're like, oh, what are you doing? I'll be like, get away from me. Like I'll straight up say that. Like just leave me alone.
But you're more reticent to use that kind of language or maybe forthrightness in a less divey bar.
No, because it's like more like I don't know. Everyone's like a more
Like
what's the word? You know,
it's more
stick up their
fancy.
ass, I guess.
That makes you more nervous. Like
Makes me a little more nervous. Yeah.
So like say you're in like a fancy cocktail bar.
well, yeah, I
a guy
don't want to
comes-
act crazy at a cocktail bar.
So some guy comes up to you and they say something. What do you do?
I mean, they probably like something weird or like are they buying me a drink? Because I'd say yes to that.
I guess that's fair.
And I think in a cocktail
know.
bar meant like people behave different than a dive bar. Dive bar, it's like anything can happen. You know.
I guess that's true. But you're saying that you feel comfortable going to a dive bar. Do you think that's because you have like, and I hope you take this as the compliment it is, like you are physically capable.
Yeah.
Like you're not
Yeah.
like no one's like you're like someone fucks with you. You're like I'll punch you right
Like
in the
I
face.
would punch someone if they
Right,
did. Like
yeah.
I have. Like that. Not
Yeah.
at a dive bar. In a parking garage, but.
Yeah, but I feel like that's fair. And
I think
and
yeah.
not all women have that.
No, because like
level of
obviously, if
agency.
there's just a smaller stature of a woman, like you're not gonna
Right.
feel as comfortable like fighting off men. However, I'm bigger than a lot of men.
Yeah, no, that is true. I mean, you're not like I feel like you talk. I don't like when you talk bad about your body. I don't know because you're not
You're gonna
like.
hate my set. No,
Is that true?
no. Well,
Because like I feel like you're strong, but you are beautiful. You know what I
thank
mean?
you. No, and I know, and like I lean into the body stuff obviously because it's like it's
That's
the elephant in the room though. It's like oh, like because like people look at me, they're like she's could kick my like ass. You know, it's like a lot of people have that thing. So it's like I don't really like I
Is
like
this just
I
the-
like my body. Like I'm
Oh,
happy
okay,
with my
gotcha.
body. It's not about me being insecure. Like I spent my whole life like working through that because like when you're younger and you're like more
Mm,
muscular, like bigger, it's like you always feel like because everyone's so little. Like when you're growing up, you know?
right, and you're like yoked because you've been doing the butterfly for the
Yes.
last 10 years.
Well, also my genetics. Like my dad he's a muscular guy, and I have his whole like I look like my dad.
What does your dad do for a living?
He has an engine. He's an engineer.
Oh, I think you told me that last time.
Yeah, two degrees, bachelor's
But
degrees.
even though he works at a desk, he's still kind of a strong guy.
Very, yeah.
That's-
Just naturally, like it's just the genetics, honestly. So.
I like a dad. You don't want a skinny dad. You want a
Yeah.
sturdy dad.
You want a
know
dad
what I
who
mean?
can take care of some things.
Who can really lift a car if necessary.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the car is kind of hard for anyone.
I one time watched. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I grew up. My sister grew up doing circus.
Yeah.
She did this. It was called Circus Smirkus. Really cool circus, youth circus. And so I grew up around a lot of circus performers, and I'll never forget these four giant guys picked up a car and moved it in our driveway.
Wow.
It
That's
was
kind of cool.
it was really cool.
I'd be turned on watching that happen.
No, circus. I got the privilege of like after college, I worked in circus a little bit, like here or there, and I got the privilege of spending time with circus performers, and they are some of the coolest people I've ever met.
Oh, I bet they're like like they're doing acrobatics and stuff. Like they're doing
Yeah,
cool things.
But do you know what but the thing I loved about them is that they were physical, right? So they're using their bodies phically with each other in ways that's like, I need you to catch me because otherwise I will literally fall on my head. And so their ability to communicate about the things that they needed in any situation was so impressive.
Yeah.
Like they were very open and
had to like
warm
trust
and
each other.
Yes, they had a lot of trust and were really good
That's
at working
really special.
with people.
I never knew that about circuses. Like I didn't know.
I think
was
it's
that
probably
kind
similar to like being on a sports team.
Yeah.
Which
I
I mean,
guess.
like you would trust your sport. Well, swimming's so specific.
Swimming's too individual.
Right.
Like, and truly, honestly, swimming's like one of the sports where, you know.
Sorry, if you're just joining us, Sarah was a college swimmer.
Yeah.
Which is an important backdrop for this.
Yeah, 12 years competitively, age 9 to 20.
Yeah. But so it's like an individual
So it's
sport?
very individual sport, but here's the thing, it's kind of like it's not up to it's not subjective, right? It's if you're faster than somebody, you're going to be in the spot. Like you have to be faster to get the spot on the relay. If someone else
you like that aspect of it, that it was so concrete.
Yeah, because I was the fast one.
You would have hated it if you were slow.
Yeah, I would have done it. I don't think I like doing things that I don't want to say bad at, but I don't like to do things that like I know there's no potential, I guess, that I could be good at them.
And not to like, I'm not saying we're bad at comedy.
No.
But I've only been doing comedy I've been doing stand up for almost 2 years now, and I feel like we're about the same. And I'm inexorably bad at it. Like
But so are people who've been doing it for 7 years. You know, it's
Okay,
I mean,
I
don't think years really. I know people like to say the year thing, and like, of course, how can I speak to that because I'm new too. I'm like a year and a half in, but
Sure.
I think that it matters like what you're putting into it. So like if you're doing it for 5 years and you're like half-assing it and just going and like dicking around and like not really writing or doing anything, it's like you're not gonna get better, right? You're just gonna maybe you are better at open mics, but like, you know, are you better at your bits and your writing and the purpose for comedy? Like,
do you think that it's just partially that you're applying the technique of like okay, so if you swam competitively in college, then that means that you're good at something. So do you just think that you understand how to get good at something?
Yeah.
Like the amount of dedication, time, etc.
Yeah, for sure. I think swimming did teach me that. Like, that's like why I'm glad I did it. Because it's translated like into everything for me.
Yeah.
It's like yoga. I do the same thing with yoga. Like, I want to be good at yoga because it's cool and it's fun.
It is interesting that all of the activities that you choose are pretty individually driven.
Yeah.
I don't mean to. That wasn't a
Not
judgment.
a team player.
Look, Sarah looked at me like she's like, "Are you gonna make fun of me for this?" No, it's just a note. I know all the activities I like are also individual activities.
I'm an only child.
Oh, I don't. Did you tell me that? Maybe.
No.
But that is an important backdrop.
Yeah, so that's probably part of it, I'd say.
Wow.
A lot of only children, I think, don't really like group stuff.
I have 2 siblings, and I'm very into individual activities. But I do know what you say.
Yeah.
Mean. Yeah, like there's a level of please focus on me.
Kind of, but like for me, not really. Like, I don't necessarily want the focus. Like, I want to be good, and I want to be good because I want to feel good about like doing what I'm doing. You know, like I don't. That's how I'm like driven. So like I'm very hard on myself. Like I'll go do a bit, and then like open mic, and like at the open mic maybe I get like a couple pops of laughter, and then I'll leave and be like, that was terrible. I did terrible. Like that was horrible. And then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, people, like this wasn't that bad. But like in my
Yeah,
head,
that's interesting.
I'm like, oh no, this was terrible. This went bad.
That's funny because the last podcast I did, I had Bella Robb on,
Yeah,
East Coast
shout
Edge
out.
Lord.
Oh,
Love
sorry.
her. She's so fun. I had such a good time with
I
her.
haven't seen her in so long.
She's doing her thing.
Sorry, just coughed at you.
No, that's fine. Cough away, dude. Or this is a safe space. Yeah, cough on me.
Just throw up.
That would be a little
No,
challenging.
I wouldn't do
We
that.
might have to stop, but maybe not. I don't know.
Just keep it going.
I'm in this zone where I'm like, just put it all in, baby. I don't know.
Let it loose. Take
is
it
what-
off.
This is what I am. Like, you know, that's been my energy lately.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, I don't know, dude. This is what I am. Do you hate it? Same.
no, I love it. I think
Well,
it's
I know.
great. What were you
I'm talking like the voice in my head. Do you know what I mean? Do you have like you're saying that after a set? This is why I brought this up. Bella Robb came on and she was saying something about she brought you up and was like, I don't know why Sarah is like gets down on her set sometimes because she gets booked and she's great. And I was like, it's because I get it, dude. Every time I do a set, I'm like, that was the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so mean to myself. in my
Yeah.
head.
We have to talk to ourselves the way we talk to each other when we do bad. Like, but internally. So like,
So give me an example.
you
of
could
that.
do bad. You do terrible at the open mic. The one day. Not like every day, but like imagine.
Okay.
And I come up to you and I say, that wasn't that bad. Like that one joke was really funny. And you're like,
Oh.
oh, thank you. And then you feel better. And like, but we need to say
Great
that
example.
to ourselves. Like we
Don't just fixate on what went bad.
Yeah.
Find something that went okay.
I naturally navigate towards being negative, and I think that comes
Same.
from like my childhood. Like my mom is very negative.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
No, it's
But I understand
like
that.
your parents do the best they can, right? Well, not every parent, but most parents are trying, right?
Well, let's just say we both had parents that were intentional about having children.
Yeah.
And they loved us.
Yeah.
And they still sometimes make weird choices.
I think they still are people. We have to like separate our parents from being our parents
Right.
and look at them as actual individuals. Like if you had a
Isn't
friend
that the
or
worst part is when you realize that your parents are just humans.
I think it's helping me honestly because
Is it?
I can like separate when my mom says something versus like I'm just like, oh, she's just like having a bad day because like she's
Right.
going through XYZ, and any person going through that probably would be a little grumpy or like whatever.
Yeah, because she's just a person.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But a mom, it's like you want them to be all. I mean, I think your parents, you kind of expect them to be like nurturing and caring of you, and because they are your whole life, right?
But also moms, and this is I love my mother,
Mm-hmm.
but moms, the universality of them saying absolutely bonkers things, particularly for some reason to their daughters.
Yeah.
And but obviously, like my mom, one time, sorry, mom. One time, I was coming down the stairs in high school, and I was running like a little bit late, so my mom was all mad at me.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she said, "Well, you look like shit today, buddy." and I had to, and then I had to
That
go
hurt.
to, then I had to go to school and try and learn geometry. You know what I mean?
When you're traumatized, like no,
But that's not
no wonder he
trauma.
was bad at geometry. You know,
Wait, what's that? No one's bad at
I
geometry.
said no wonder you were bad at geometry.
Yeah, right. But no, it's like, and I never, I don't hold that against
Right.
her. I'm just like, she's just a human being.
Right.
And probably she was literally going through menopause,
Right.
and I was the last child in the house,
Yeah.
and she was freaking out.
Yeah, and like your parents are saying shit. They're gonna
Yeah.
say stuff, you know. But yeah,
What were we talking about?
we were talking about my mom
Yeah. Why were you talking about your
because
mom?
I was saying that we do a lot of negative self-talk, and like
Yeah,
for
great.
me, like growing up, like I was around a lot of negative talk in general, so I felt
Because that was like your mom's dialogue on some level.
yes, and almost
Hmm.
for everything at all times, she is going to the negative, and it's
Yeah.
obviously there's things, depression, anxiety that cause these thoughts. And yeah, but like I just it's hard to reverse it, you know? Like once you start kind of like when you're very critical of yourself, like you're not saying to yourself, "Oh my god, I went to like 5 open mics this week. I crushed at 3 of them." Like
Right.
I went to a show. Got booked on a show. I did a guest spot at a show I showed up on. Like you're like, "Oh, that one said that at the open mic, I did terrible and I'm embarrassed and I'm going to like cry about it." Like I don't know. That's like how I kind of was thinking about comedy
Right.
earlier on, I would say.
So you're just saying that, like, instead of looking at that one, oh, I did bad, look at the full scope and go, I had a pretty good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
think
really
that's
trying to
smart.
do that cuz I get bogged down and I even I at shows or at mics, I used to do this thing where I would look at the one person who hated my set or hated me or hated just
How do you
life.
know that they even
They
like
like
you?
look at you with
Oh,
disdain, like you know, and you like see someone and they're looking at you and they're
yeah, I do know what you mean.
like that's who I would zero
Yeah.
in on to look at and perform comedy, and I would do so bad because I'm looking at the meanest person in the room,
Right.
probably.
I think also like this is just a separate thing that I think is interesting depending on who you are when you do sets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is do you look at the audience or do you not?
I'll look at if I can catch like an eye of a person who looks really happy to be there. I'll look at them, and if I can find like one or two, I'll kind of like swivel between, and the rest I
Mm,
don't really like. I'm not looking. Like if I see a table in the back, like the show I was at this weekend, there's a table with these two people who looked like they were fucking miserable,
yeah.
and I was like, "Don't look over there, Sarah. Look at the
That's
nice
so
lady
funny.
in front of you who's laughing and engaged."
I
Like,
feel like we have a lot in common, but sometimes I think that like in that situation, oh, I would be leaning into looking at those terrible, the sad people. I would be like, what's going on?
I think maybe one day I will get there, but right now I'm not there in my
They
comedy
make
for
me,
sure. I'm
well,
not
I'm
ready
not
to do
saying I'm
that.
funny about it.
Yeah.
I get too interested. I sometimes I forget to be funny because I'm intrigued by something that's happening. I'm like, what's going on here?
Well, I mean, that's like crowd work, right? So
Yeah, I guess that is
maybe
crowd
that
work.
is like maybe they were just bored and I should have zeroed in on them. But you know, I'm learning.
But also like I love crowd work. I know that right people are kind of hate on it
Mm-hmm.
in comedy like, "Oh, don't do crowd work." But like that's just legitimately what like if I could do crowd work more
Yeah,
often, I would be happy.
I think you can.
It doesn't
Well,
because crowd work has to I like crowd work that happens naturally. Like it
yeah,
has to be like there's literally someone in the room that I'm intrigued by. And
yeah.
then I'm like, can I please do crowd work because I want to talk to this intriguing
Well, I
person.
think you can. Like, if you say something and they're like, "Hey," like, or they scream something out, or like you
Mhm.
ask a question and they answer, that's open. They're opening up to talk to you, like
Right,
at that point.
they do want to actually engage. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people who go to comedy shows want to, which is
Yeah, I think
weird.
well, but some are terrified. Like my mom saw me at my comedy show like last
Hmm.
week,
Oh
and
yeah, you did comedy for the first time in front of your parents.
yeah, I didn't look at them at all. I didn't even
Mm.
look over. They were on like the right side of
No,
the
I
theater.
can't
I was like,
fathom that.
absolutely not. Don't even look.
I feel like we talked about this that you were pretty scared to have them see you do comedy.
Yeah, I mean, not so much about the seeing me; it's the hearing me. That's the issue.
What do you- You're well, I think also like the thing about the point we are in comedy is if my parents came and saw me, they'd be like, "It's so harsh and rough."
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you're like, I know, I'm working on it. I know that it's not one day it's going to be a little more smooth. But right now
yeah.
it's like watching someone learn how to skateboard. You don't want to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Or swim.
Oh, yeah, great. No, great example. Yeah.
Yeah, like my mom at the end of the show, she literally comes up to me and she's like, "Sarah, you look so pretty." And I was like, "I want to be funny."
Yeah. Mom,
Mom, this is a
I
comedy
know
show.
I got great tits. I'm trying to tell
I have
great
a
jokes.
fucking mirror, all right? Like, I
Yeah.
don't need to hear it. Words of affirmation isn't my thing. It's acts of service.
Is that I think you told me about that. You want someone to so like what would the ideal response have been? That she just came
I
up
would have
as
loved if she was like that one joke about choking yourself or getting choked was so no, not my choking joke, but like any of the jokes. If she would have just said like that one joke was really funny, I would have like liked that a lot better.
Yeah, I always feel like my parents when I show them something like if I brought them, they'd be like, now what do you do? You know, like how do you take this to the next level? And I'd be like, "Well, I don't know, dude.
My mom's like, what? Why are you doing this?
Now that's the line. That's a mom line. See, I knew it was
She
in
goes,
there.
you make no money.
Yeah.
You wasted 5 hours that day driving an hour, just sitting there for 3.
But like,
driving
isn't
back.
that the thing that I love them? I want to do the reason I love comedy. I've always loved comedy.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make funny stuff. I don't know if I always want to do stand up, but I've
Mhm.
always wanted to make just funny stuff, or like silly or not.
Yeah.
Funny to me is like too. I like farce, so
Yeah.
it could be kind of serious, but fun, whatever.
Mhm.
My point is like, I lost my train of thought. We were talking about your mom.
You were saying that you wanted to.
Oh, sorry. I know. I got
Really
excited that no, you did.
Okay.
Thank you. It's just that like, see, I lost it again.
Funny. You were saying farces funny. Farces and funny.
Oh, I know. Is this that like parents are like, oh, you want to do this and there's no money in it?
That's the thing. It's like you don't get art.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
get the
Like
art,
I
Mom.
want to do something that's completely meaningless.
Yeah.
Like I like activities where the thing has very little purpose besides it just existing.
Also, it does have a purpose. Comedy, people go seek out comedy when they want to laugh, when they
That
want
is
to feel
true.
good. It's like, it's almost like, not to compare it to yoga, but like people seek out yoga because they want to feel better about, they know it's like a spiritual thing, like whatever
Yeah, I
they
mean,
come
talk
for.
about like
But
the emotions that are stuck in our body. You ever
Yeah.
cry during a yoga class?
what was that?
Did you ever cry during a yoga class?
I used to cry a lot when I
Yeah.
first got like into it, and I would be, because your hips hold all your emotions. So like I would get in like a hip opener pose, and I would like, especially if I was going through something. Sometimes I
Yeah.
still might, like, depending, like if I'm really upset and I go to yoga, like sometimes you just have to cry. And luckily my face is like down on the mat, so
Yeah.
no one can see. And it's hot yoga, so we're sweaty.
You're
so
sweating.
The tears blend. And
I mean, I cried. Lauren and I, that's my wifey.
Mhm.
Lauren and I went to the orchestra,
okay,
and I cried during that.
that's beautiful.
Because it's like I think at the end of the day, like it's parents going, why are you doing this? You're not making any money. And you're like, yeah, but that's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah, like I'm doing something I love.
Well, that, but also
Enjoy.
like the power of transcendence in art is so, and I know people don't want to call stand-up art, but like
It is though.
in performance, let's say, like I saw Dion Cole last night. I was
Yeah.
telling you about it, and I forgot where I was. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was just watching and was able to have this like experience that was, I mean, he is one of my favorite comics, so I'm
Mhm.
biased.
Right.
But I get to have this like experience where you forget about all the shit that's keeping you back in life. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's so important.
Yeah, it is. It's like therapeutic,
Yeah.
It's
So your mom said you don't. What did you say back to that?
I mean, she didn't say it that nasty, but she did say that. And I was just like, Mom, like like I'm passionate about this, obviously. Like it's like something I care about, so why why not? Like you want me
Right.
to have like a hobby that I hate, or a job like a second job I hate, and like be miserable all the
But
time?
you
Like,
have a good job, right?
no, I do have like no, I mean, I
I
don't
know,
consider
it's-
comedy a job by any means.
No, not comedy,
Um,
but you have a job outside
Y-
comedy.
Right, I have a yoga teacher, so it's
Mm.
so that, and then like of course I love that because I'm passionate about yoga. So
I thought
it's
you
like
had another job too.
I have business analyst, like the regular one,
Yeah,
the main
yeah.
squeeze.
Yeah. I mean that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like parents sometimes get nervous, right, about what we're doing, and you're like, I have this wonderful house, like,
Right, I'm paying rent every month. I'm
I'm-
paying my bills.
yeah, right, and I'm sure.
We're paying down the credit card debt. We're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Do you still have college debt?
No, I don't want to tell you about that.
No. Okay.
I don't want
Fine.
to talk about that.
Fair enough,
My
dude.
parents paid for it.
Why is that embarrassing, bro?
My hair's gonna light on fire.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
realized there's
honestly,
candles there.
I was thinking.
Oh
that.
my god,
Push
that
it
would have
back
been
a little.
crazy for the podcast, though. We'll just move them over this.
To be honest, I would have kept it.
That would have like we might have got viral. Sarah burns her hair off.
Sarah burns her hair off. Crazy video. Can you imagine?
All my ops start like using it to jack off too.
Your ops. What are ops like?
Opponents.
Yeah. What you have opponents that jack off to you?
I don't know.
I mean,
Probably.
isn't the hottest sex when you kind of hate them?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want any, while I have you, do you have any dating situations you'd like advice on?
From you? You're
Why is
you're like basically married, first of all. That's like
it?
not allowed. I don't want to hear your advice.
No,
Um
that is fair because you're like you've been together for so long, you don't even know
yeah.
what it's like out
No.
here.
But I truly don't have like I'm not dating anybody. Like for the first time in like forever, I don't even have anyone I fucking
Sleep
like.
with.
Well, yeah, sleep with. I guess. Well, no.
Mom, don't watch.
Hopefully she'll never watch this. We're not gonna tell her about it. That's how she will never watch it. And then she, well, yeah. Where's that going? Okay. How am I gonna say this? I'm not dating. I don't. I mean, I have feelings about things, but I'm not gonna get into that. Um,
You have feelings about things, just in general.
I'm not actively dating a human man. That's what I said.
Oh, are you actively dating a not human man?
I'm really good. Yeah. Tesla
Honestly,
robot.
aren't they mostly not human? You know what I mean?
They're from a different planet for sure.
You told me we had a text exchange where you said you're trying to decenter men. What does
Yeah.
that look like? What do you mean?
I think like so, and I used to do this. Like I'm really like there's this all actively things I'm like trying to work on. Like when I used to like a guy, it would like you actually catch the feelings. You like the guy. You're like shit. You're like now I like him, and you're
Okay.
not dating, right? Or maybe you're just meeting each other and like whatever you fucked her, and now you're like oh no I like them. What I would normally do in that situation is like obsess over them. Like
Oh,
just
okay.
like obsess. Like be like,
All
oh my
right.
God, I wake up, oh my God, are they gonna text me? Oh, if they don't
Oh,
text me, my day is bad. Oh, they texted me. Oh my God, I got the serotonin boost. Oh my God, now like they're asking me to hang out, but then they ghosted me. And now he came back. So maybe I'll give him a second chance. And like I feel like that's like easy to fall into. And I think by like decentering men, even if you like them, like by kind of like saying, okay, like I really like this guy,
sure.
but he's like not he hasn't asked me out or he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend or he hasn't expressed he wants anything more with me, then I would actively be like dating other people and I would also do all my hobbies. Like I think like
Oh, you
I will
sometimes let like a guy take time away from you.
yeah, I have in the past for sure.
Oh, yeah, time is like is that's a very valuable asset.
Yeah, and I'm like realizing that because I'm so busy now with like all these activities.
Right.
And it's like I don't have time for bullshit. Like if you want to be in my life, I would love that if I like we get along and I want you there. But if you don't, like get away from me and don't bother me because like that's just taking time and energy out of me that I like that one you don't deserve because we obviously don't, we're not
Right.
friends or we're not in that type of support emotionally. And two, it's like I forget what number two was. I'm the weed drinks kicking in.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
I like being high. I think it's nice.
I am new to high.
Are you?
New to being high.
I like it because honestly, I forget my train of thought a lot. But when I'm high, I'm like, no, it's just because I'm high. You know?
I'm not dumb. I'm just high.
Yeah, I'm not dumb. I'm high.
Maybe everyone's just high. That I mean.
Honestly, like I used to live in before I lived here. We lived in Western Massachusetts where weed is legalized, and man, there were a lot of high people, and you'd be like, that's not good for you. Not everyone should smoke weed.
No, I'm not really a big. I don't like to be high like in the public. I'm realizing I don't want to be around people.
That's fair. I feel like there's different. Like I like going to say I'm going to a show. I like being high.
I could see that. Yeah.
But if I'm going to, let me think of, if I'm at a wedding, gonna be high.
Okay. That I don't think.
But if I'm trying to order in a fast food restaurant, like out in the middle, just of humanity, yeah, that's tough. Does that make sense?
I don't think so.
No.
What is a fast food restaurant? Like you go, like you
I was
mean
just
like you don't want to
picturing-
be high in a
Okay,
fast
wait,
food
no,
restaurant?
here's
Isn't
a
that the
bet.
one place you are high because you give them the munchies? Like,
Here's a better example. Like trying to go shopping at Costco when you're high.
oh yeah,
Not for me.
never.
I would be so
never do
stressed out.
that. Yeah, like something like a grocery store.
Am I getting
Doctor.
dates? Do I get bananas? I don't know. It becomes an existential question. It's so many. I don't want this many pistachios. What am I going to do with all these cashews, you know?
You're staring at steak and you like want chicken, but you can't find the chicken.
Exactly,
Like, it's
yeah.
like-
That's Costco high. My wife will always be like, she'll get high and do the craziest activities. Like the other day, she got high before she went to the doctor.
That's
I was like,
I guess
no. She had to get like blood drawn and stuff.
She was probably nervous and they calmed her down.
Yeah,
Like
I mean
I
that.
get that weed does that, so that's some
Well,
of it.
but you said that it like makes you feel you don't want to be in public with it.
Well, it depends. Like I'm
Do you
still learning the
Oh, you're
strands
still
and
learning.
stuff. Like I sometimes I'll take like a hybrid gummy and it's kind of like on the more sleepy side, and I'm in public. I'm like now I'm sleepy. I
You're
don't
like
wanna be
you're like
sleepy.
in the corner of a bar. You're like, I'm not drunk. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm just napping.
I'm sleepy.
Like I know I actually haven't even tried one yet. I got a gummy or like edibles that are they're like the upper type. What's that?
Sativa.
Sativa. I always
Yeah,
wanted to
I
say
don't know. I don't
salvia.
know like how. Yeah, salvia is crazy. One of my buddies, I love this guy. I talk about him. I've talked about him before on this podcast.
Yeah.
His name's Kyle, and he's just one of my friends growing up, and he's like 10 times funnier than any comic I've ever met. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? There's like one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
He was hiking the Appalachian Trail and found an ounce of salvia. And he was like, and I smoked it once and it was terrible. And then we just kept smoking it every night for the entire hike. And I was like, what?
Okay. Why would you keep smoking?
If it was terrible? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's the way he lives.
That's crazy.
Have you ever smoked salvia?
No, I don't even really know what it is.
Oh, it's like a really intensive hallucinogen, but the trip lasts only 15 minutes.
Oh, I don't like that. I
Have
don't
you?
like-
Are you into hallucinogens?
No.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
scared of them too.
I mean, I have anxiety.
I feel like I keep telling people. Someone the other day asked me, "Are you going to do mushrooms soon?" And I said, "I'll do them when I'm 45."
That's a good age.
Don't you think? It's like you go. This is like maybe it'll change my life if I'm still doing what I'm doing.
Could have done this like 20 years ago.
Just,
It just really
maybe it'll knock something
changed
loose.
the trajectory.
I'm still
trajectory.
bartending. You know.
Right
I'm-
after you become like a billionaire and
Yeah,
you're like,
maybe.
I could have been this my whole life, and
Oh,
now
yeah. I waited so long. So you don't want to do them ever?
I would maybe do them, but I would like need to be like at home or somewhere like
Would you
that
want?
I feel safe
Sarah has
with a safe person.
Sarah has a rabbit.
I do have a rabbit.
Would you want your pet home, or
I'm not-
would you want no
There's-
responsibilities?
She's not really like she isn't that big of a problem.
She's not a burden.
No, she has a litter box and her food's automatic. Her water's full all the time. So as
Wow.
long as she has her hay,
I just feel like
she's
if
good
I
to
did
go.
mushrooms and look, I don't know anything, but I feel like if I did mushrooms and then looked at my dogs, I would be like, "You live here? Why do you live here? Do you know how to be? I don't know.
I think I would like want her here for some emotional support.
Really? If you're having a bad day, does she cuddle with you?
No. She's emotionally unavailable.
You certainly have a type, don't you?
I do. you don't like
So-
me? I love you.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a problem.
But I don't feel like you have that same rule with friendships.
No.
Like all your friends that I've like met in passing are very kind and loyal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to dating, you're like, make me sad, I guess.
Not really make me sad necessarily. It really stems again from my mother where
What are we talking about? Shout out to Sarah's mom. What's her name? Pat.
Patricia.
Oh, Patricia is so much better.
Yeah, she goes by Pat. I don't know why.
Pat. What's up? My name's Pat. Does she wear a backwards hat and like Converse?
No.
I was thinking she had like a carabiner on her cargo shorts.
She wears
What's up? My
Skechers.
name's Pat. I've been a plumber for 25 years.
No.
Shout out to Pat. But
Shout
what,
out. No,
why?
So here's the thing. And again, and this is partially me too. It's not just all them, but I was as an only child, you're like actively always having to impress your parents constantly, right? And probably some people with siblings too. I have this dynamic, but
Oh, okay.
there's no one to take the heat off. So if you have a sibling who's
Oh.
overperforming,
Oh my God.
you're hiding like behind
Yeah.
them. You don't have to. You're living
Great
your
way to
life.
say that.
Like there was
Wow.
only a spotlight on me for my whole life growing up, essentially, and it's like now I'm always seeking my mother's approval and parents' approval because that's all I had. I didn't have siblings to
Right.
approve of me. I had, whatever. Now I find it, and looking back on like all my ex-boyfriends and relationships, like a lot of them started where, we just kind of kept it whatever. There wasn't any like, oh, we're gonna like date and see if we would like each other and like maybe be boyfriend girlfriend. Like it was always like a random fluke meeting them, then a random like hooking up situation. Sometimes I would cancel it. I would cut my subscription off, and then I would
cut your subscription.
well, I would
off?
like stop hooking up with them because I'd be like, I can't. I have feelings for you now. I can't have sex
Oh.
with you anymore.
But like, why? I don't really understand how that relates to.
Because then I want them to come back, which they do because men are men. And then when they come back, they're like, "Oh, I want to date you." Like 90% of the time is how.
But
my
like, is that
relationship
just because
started.
you want all their attention?
like,
because
the
that's what you've
approval.
had.
I want like to feel like I am wanted, and like I'm like, I just want the approval. I think, and that stems from that childhood wound of like always looking for approval from like somebody.
Wow.
You learn.
I mean,
growing up,
I've never thought about like. I like that language of saying that you had the spotlight on you all the time. I think that's what you said.
yeah,
And that's because when both of my older siblings moved out and it was just me and my parents.
yeah, tough.
Being an only child is like, I don't think people understand how challenging it would be. Just because it's like you don't want all of the attention.
No.
I promise you.
No, because that's like they just hyper fixate on you. Like it's
Right.
all they think about.
Yeah. They're really dedicated to your success.
Right, and that's a good thing, but like also sometimes a bad thing depending on how it like manifests, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. Sarah Hanson came on the pod and she is going to be a famous comedian one day. And then her parents will finally give their approval.
My mom will be like, why don't you have a Netflix special? Mom just did a YouTube special.
And she'll be like, but what about the grandkids?
No, she's not actually pushing that. At least.
Really?
That's the one. Shout out to my mom for never making me pushing me to making me have kids. What is this, Handmaid's Tale?
Yeah, it does,
Like,
when you use that language a little.
No, she's really never pressured me to have children, and I appreciate that about her the most. I think she wants me to.
Right.
When I had a boyfriend and he met her, she brought up kids 3 times to him the first time she met him, and I was like,
wait, what do you mean? She would be like,
she would just make jokes like, oh, like when
Are
you
you guys
guys have
thinking-
kids one day, or like I was like, Mom,
are you just, sometimes I'm like, sometimes I feel like my challenges with my parents, I'm like, is it just that they were trying to be funny?
I don't know. I feel like she said like, yeah, but like, okay, I don't know. Maybe some people their jokes don't stem from truth, and that's fine for them. But most jokes stem from some kind of truth.
Yeah.
So like, and you have to come up with it in your head, right? Like maybe it doesn't, you don't say it the way it actually happened, but like it's a thought that came through.
Yeah, I mean, I think all jokes should have a seed of truth in them.
Yeah, I think it makes it more authentic.
Yeah, like to me, the perfect joke is a seed of truth and then
A bunch of lies.
a bunch of lies. I might not even be married. No.
Yeah, no one will ever know. Like,
Yeah. And like, even if I filmed a video of me and my wife making sweet, sweet love, you wouldn't know that we were married. How would you know?
She could be the second woman,
The second woman.
the side piece, as they say.
Shout out to Sarah, who's never going to be a side piece.
Never.
She's always going to be the number one.
Shout out to Lizzo for those
And
lyrics.
Is that a...
She's like, I'll never ever get. Wait. I can't start in the middle of the song. That's tough. That's tough. I ain't never gonna be a side piece. Oh wait, I ain't never ever gonna be a side piece. Wait, I'm off key, but that's something.
No, it sounded really good.
We should do karaoke.
Yeah, I would love to. Just a whole karaoke pod.
Yeah, we just sing to each other.
Do you want to plug anything before you get out of here?
Yeah. I'll plug my Instagram. Sarah, is that a joke? That's the Instagram handle. Sarah, is more. That a joke? It's a question, but now it's an Instagram handle. I'll also plug Speakeasy. We run a mic. Shout out Joe, Ashley, and Mary, and Steve. Okay, I think that's it. And Cookie. This is the worst plug I've ever done. It's probably my first plug, actually. So I'm just gonna keep going. Speakeasy Mike, Friday nights, Cookie's Place, Gray's Ferry. The address is on somewhere on the Instagram, which is also Speakeasy Phil, or something along the lines of that.
Wow, what I
should have written this down. I didn't know I was gonna be plugging things. I'm just plugging.
What an incredible plug. I mean, if someone asked me to plug something, I wouldn't be able to.
That's it.
Shout
Hotbox Yoga. Go there and do yoga. Don't come to my class though.
Sarah was the first person that I had on 2 times. So you know that means that she's mad fun to work with. You should all frickin' put her on your shows. She's super fun to work with, and she's always got a beautiful smile and great jokes. Give it up for Sarah Hanson. This is the pod, baby. We did it.
Give it up for Max Moore running this beautiful podcast.
Don't look at me. Bye. Don't even know that I. Okay, bye.
He does a lot of stuff. This is a very intricate thing.
Bye.
How he's laid on the floor.
I love it. Wait,
what else you got there?
Shout out to Sarah. I love her. Bye.